You are now looking at a very dense and heavy sand-like debris that was extracted from the bottom of our gas hot water heater. It was mixed in and a part of this calcium-magnesium buildup. Even though we couldn't get our hands down in there, we were able to get all of this debris out. Now this all began when we started to hear popping and snapping sounds coming from our hot water heater. We suspected what might be happening. In this heater, the flame cycles on and off throughout the day. Each time, the heat of the flame rises up through an opening in the tank bottom and into the flue, from where at that point, the heat is transferred into the water. The tank bottom and flue are both made of steel and are connected as one. If enough debris covers these two parts, the heat of the flame can overheat, fatigue, and crack these metal tank parts. If that ever happens, it's game over for this tank. Now, I've never done this before, and I haven't found any specific examples out there on it, but I knew that this could be done. I've filmed the steps, so sit back and relax. We used ordinary store-bought vinegar, $30 worth, some basic tools, the Earth's gravity, and patience to get this done. Please be sure to pause and read the following warnings. To begin, turn the water heater temperature control to the off position. The pilot light must be off while doing this procedure. Use up some of that hot water by taking a shower or bath or something. Connect the garden hose to the drain port on the heater and run the other end to a floor drain. Turn off the cold water supply to the tank and then open an upstairs hot water faucet to allow air to be drawn in. Open the tank drain valve to drain the tank. You'll hear slurping sounds coming from the upstairs faucet as air gets drawn in. If the water leaving the tank slows down or stops, then there's probably a clog. I had to blow into the hose a few times to keep ours going. Don't hurt yourself by blowing too hard, and watch out as there could still be hot water. When the tank is emptied, close the faucet and the tank drain valve. With an empty tank, we'll remove the cold and hot water fittings by using a wrench or large pliers. Have a rag or cloth handy to catch spills. One thing to point out is if you run into this on your water heater, you'll want to clean it up by chasing the thread. A wire wheel or brush alone won't work for this. You can use those after, but I first ran this 3/4 14 NPT die over the threads to clean them up. I got it off Amazon. You could find this at a plumbing store too, as it's a common thread size for water heaters. Remove the cold water inlet nipple, which on mine includes the dip tube. Also remove the hot water outlet nipple, which on mine includes the magnesium anode rod. We need to do both. To keep the tank stable in this step, I used a basic ratchet strap and locked it around the top of the tank. I then hooked another pull strap into a metal loop on the first strap to give me something to hold on to. With legs spread apart, I could then pull the wrench with my left hand counterclockwise, while at the same time holding onto the loop with my right hand. This kept the tank stable and against my chest as the tank was drawn towards me. With those parts removed and put aside, we can then tilt the exhaust draft hood and flue exhaust pipe out of the way for more room. Before warming up the vinegar, ensure the area is well ventilated, as the fumes will become quite strong. I used a portable induction cooktop. Warm up 6 jugs of white vinegar in small batches until it's very warm, but not boiling. Carefully, with safety glasses on, slowly pour the warmed vinegar into the tank with a funnel through one of the fitting holes. Nothing goes down that center flue hole. The warm vinegar quickly reacts with the calcium and magnesium, thereby causing bubbling. This bubbling is the release of CO2 gas, which is generally safe, but it still needs to be vented as it does have a foul odor. To do this, I swung the flue hood back and wrapped a rag around the inlet-outlet to vent the fumes to the outside. Be sure to have good ventilation around the area surrounding the heater any time that the vinegar bubbling is occurring. Let those 6 jugs worth of vinegar soak the debris for the day at pure strength. Later in the evening, with a garden hose, fill the tank almost all the way with fresh water to reach the upper scale on the flue. We want the vinegar to act on any debris that is stuck to the flue overnight. It's the next morning. Now for the flush. Drain the tank again to the floor drain with a hose. And this time, rinse the tank with a garden hose. One can now shine a flashlight down one threaded hole and at the same time look into the other. I used my phone camera for this and zoomed in. We now have all the debris off the flue as it has fallen to the bottom of the tank. Heat up 6 more jugs of vinegar and do the same thing we did last time. Let the warm vinegar soak until the bubbling stops. The amount of time it will take is dependent on how much debris is in your tank. For hours, it was 4 hours when the process was complete. So once again, I emptied the tank down the drain with a garden hose. But this time, because it was pure vinegar, I added fresh water to dilute things down. We have a septic system, so we wanted to protect those beneficial bacteria that live in there. After the final rinse, a sand-like debris remained. So we got it out by using gravity and the siphon method. First, grab a paint tray and lay it beside the floor drain to catch the soon-to-be extracted debris. You don't want this heavy stuff going down your drain. I'll show you why after. Fill the tank nearly to the top with water. Cut a length of plastic PEX tubing that can reach the bottom of the tank and at the same time stick out of the top. Drop that PEX into the heater and leave it for now. Grab an old piece of garden hose, hold both cut-off ends together up high and fill it with water. Slip one end of the hose over the PEX tube, put your thumb over the other end of the hose to seal it from air, lower the other end over a paint tray or something similar that can hold debris. Water will start flowing out. This water is being drawn out of the tank by gravity, and this water is coming from the very bottom of the tank where the debris is. We are actually vacuuming the bottom of the tank. While this is drying, gently and slowly move that PEX tube around to attempt to grab all of the debris from all across the bottom of the tank. Use a slow sweeping motion. I added a clear tube in between so we can see. You can see in this tube before you how much debris is coming up that tube. It might plug up with debris like this small piece here that I picked up, but your patience will be rewarded. Clean that tube and give it another go. This took a little while and I had to top up the tank with water a couple of times, but it worked great. Look at what we pulled out. This stuff was dense. Okay, as you can see, we are completely done. Let's get this heater running again. Reassembly and restart. Clean the threads of the dip tube, which in this case is part of the cold water intake nipple, and apply a sufficient amount of Teflon tape. When winding on the Teflon tape, it must be wound in a clockwise direction when viewed at it from the end of the nipple. This ensures that the tape will not unwind when the fittings are being threaded together. Thread this into the tank and tighten. For the cold water fitting to the house, wind the Teflon tape the same way. Not sponsored. I'm replacing my old anode rod with a powered one instead. I'm just trying this one out. Now we'll reinstall the flue. Close the drain valve on the tank, and now we can turn on the cold water to the tank. Once again, we'll open an upstairs hot water faucet and wait until the tank fills up completely to the point that the system is free of air and the water is flowing steadily. Check for leaks. Anything that we disconnected or reinstalled must be inspected thoroughly for seeping or dripping. If it is all good, we are good to go for the last step. Be sure to follow your specific instructions for this step on your heater. But on ours, the steps are to first turn this dial to the pilot position. Press inwards and hold while pressing the red button. It will make a snap sound as the piezo makes a spark inside to light the pilot light flame. You can hear it, but it's very quiet. Keep holding until the green light starts to flash. Once it does, you can let go and then turn the dial up to your desired temperature. We are done, and the tank should get up to temperature within an hour or so. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you got anything out of this video, you know what to do. Please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.